Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Introduction to pattern drafted, complete specification. Now let's look at some tips for filing or drafting the complete specification. The complete specification is a techno-legal document. It fully and particularly describes the invention and discloses the best method of performing the invention. This is from section 10. So, because it involves technology and law, it requires special care in drafting these documents. There, as a rule, ambiguity is to be avoided because the claims have to be definite. So, if the claims are ambiguous, that could be a ground for invalidation. If a provisional is filed, then a complete has to be filed within 12 months. So, there is time bound. If there is a provisional filed before the complete, the timeline has to be kept. At the end of the document, there shall be signature of the agent or the applicant along with the date in the last page, which we had already seen in the case of Bajaj's patent. The complete specification should describe the invention, it should have the operation or use and the method of operation. The best method known to the applicant has to be disclosed. The claims have to define the scope of the invention. So, if there is a reference to biological material, then the deposit of the biological material has to be done, and the abstract should be not more than 150 words. Form 2 is the form by which you file provisional and complete. It has to be a detailed explanation. Now, with regard to form 2, for a complete can be filed along with an ordinary application, a convention application, a PCT application, a divisional application and a patent of addition. So, complete specification has to be accompanied in most of these applications. Now, in the PCT national phase application, the structure includes a title, description, drawing, abstract, claim. Contents, it shall begin with the title. The title shall be same as what we saw in a provisional. Description, the preamble is different from the preamble of the provisional. The preamble will start with the statement, the following specification particularly describes the invention and the manner in which it is to be performed. So, in form 2 you will find that the preamble of a complete is different from the preamble of a provisional. It shall end with claims. Title again should not be more than 15 words. The field of invention, the invention relates to whatever the field. The background of the invention, there can be a statement of the background. Use of the invention is where utility or industrial applicability is demonstrated. Prior art and the problem solved can also be described in the descriptive part. Objects of the invention. Now, one of the reasons you have to mention the object of the invention is that the invention could be questioned if it did not solve any objective, it did not solve any problem, or the invention was not of any use. So, in many patents you will find that multiple statements beginning, the first statement would begin something like the principal object of the invention is so and so, another object of the invention is describing the another object, the further object of the invention. So, you find multiple objects being described in using these phrases. So, we had already seen that it is critical to refer the objects of the invention so that the purpose to which the invention is put is clearly described. Now, summary, it has to give what are the details, it has to disclose novelty. There are limits, 30 pages for the complete specification and 10 claims, which do not incur an extra fee. Anything more than the 10 claims will incur an extra fee. Now, detailed description should give the complete picture. If there are improvements and modifications that have to be mentioned, Sufficiency or definitiveness, the claims have to be definite and it has to be succinct and clear. The enabling disclosure, best method, these things should be defined in the specification. Examples and drawings also have to be mentioned. Now, in the detailed description, wherever there are drawings, normally you have a statement similar to this. This invention is illustrated in the accompanying drawings, throughout which like reference numericals indicate corresponding parts in the various figures. Now, we saw the reference to numbers in the drawing in the descriptive part, the brief description of the drawing. So, this explains why those numbers were used. Biological material, reference to deposit and source, this has to be done within 3 months. There are some extra requirements in the case of a patent of addition. Now, we will soon be having a lecture on patent of addition, but you need to understand that at the beginning of the descriptive part, there has to be a definite statement indicating an improvement or modification of the original invention. So, upfront in a patent of addition is a follow-up patent filed for covering an improvement or a modification of an existing invention which has already been patented. So, there is already a patent application filed and you want to file a modification or an improvement. So, it has to have a definite statement indicating an improvement in or the modification of the original invention. The serial number of the application for patent in respect of the original invention, the number of the earlier application has to be mentioned. A short statement of the invention as disclosed in the earlier specification. A short statement of the earlier. So, a patent of addition is always preceded by an earlier patent, either an earlier granted patent or an earlier patent application. So, there has to be a cross reference to the earlier patent. What the kind of improvement that this patent has made, the serial number of the earlier application, a short statement of the invention covered in the earlier application. So, it is just that when you are following up one invention filed in a patent specification with another improvement or a modification, then you have to cross refer to the earlier invention. So, this is a part of drafting where you will have to incorporate the changes in the descriptive part.